What's happening, nerds? We've all seen Avengers Endgame. We're all still super excited about it. We've done our spoiler review. We've done our normal review. But we're all still asking the question, who the hell is going to lead the Avengers in the next phase of the MCU? That's all here, right now. If you love movies and you love talking about them, make sure you hit that subscribe button and become part of our notification squad by hitting the bell. And if you dig our content, make sure you give the video a like. This is your last warning. If you haven't seen the movie yet, we highly recommend you do so, because this is a spoiler talk, because right now we're talking everything spoilers. So we know Captain America is out of the MCU at this point. We know that Iron Man is DOA, and we know that Black Widow ain't coming back at this point. So that leads on to the question, who is going to be in the MCU?
Just one second, Ryan. I'm just going to have to turn him around a little bit there.
No,
sorry, buddy, you can't. It's best you don't listen to this. It's not going to get ugly.
Sorry, Robert.
Yeah. Well, should we start with the captain? Who's going to be the new leader of the game?
I mean, it's got to be Falcon, right? I mean, he's been given the reins of Captain America. He is Captain America at this point, from what we've seen. But is he the leading man of the MCU?
Can there be two captains though? If you got Captain Marvel,
yeah, Captain Falcon,
Captain Falcon, Captain Sam Falcon.
Doesn't have the ring to it.
I don't think he has a big enough
audience, love in the MCU.
No, he's always. It'd be weird because he's definitely been a supporting character up until this point.
Yeah.
So although I like the idea of him carrying the mantle, carrying the shield, I kind of think, doesn't Captain Marvel fill that role?
I mean, I guess,
Isn't
but again, I mean, you're falling into that trap of, does she have the fan base? Sure, she's got the female popularity and stuff like that, but the male fans of the MCU, I don't think have taken, a liking to her at this point. And I think that's mainly because of Brie Larson, but the character herself is still really awesome. We haven't really seen her potential, but every time we see her, she seems to be fucking off to somewhere else. You know what I mean? She popped up at the start of Avengers Endgame for 5 seconds, helped kill Thanos, and then pissed off.
But these are the Universal Avengers we're talking about now, right?
Yeah, the next new Avengers. But I've been saying that Captain Marvel has been a leader of the Avengers at one point in the comic book, so it makes sense for her to be the leader again here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's obviously,
Well, I was thinking there's also Thor, right? So Thor has said that he's left a Valkyrie to be
absentee Avenger is Thor.
So you reckon he's just going to pop up again here and there?
I think for the purposes of working out a core group, I think maybe we discount Thor. Maybe he's
off with the Guardians.
Yeah.
Okay. Or what did he call them? The Guardians of Thor, or no?
Well, he did call Quill Quail as well. He's known to do that sort of thing.
Yeah. Anyway, so we'll think about that. Jeremy Renner, I think without being killed off or having his own kind of send off, I think he has left at this point.
Doesn't he just want to hang out on the farm?
Yeah, he does. He wants to be with
all
his
he's
family.
ever wanted?
Yeah, that's right. And so I think if they continue his story again, keep pushing his story that he wants to be a family man again, then it's just the same story over and over again for him. So I think, honestly, he's done too. I mean, then you've also got to think there's Spider-Man, right? But he's technically still owned by Sony, right? So Sony will, if Marvel wants to use him, Marvel's still going to have to fork out a bit of money to Sony here and there if they want to keep putting him in these MCU movies.
I actually think he is now younger people's fan favorite. Younger audiences go crazy for fucking Peter Parker.
Yeah, well,
crazy.
Even Spider-Man just in general. I mean, Spider-Man as a toy sells out every other toy 10-1, right? So he's probably the most popular superhero in general ever.
So they'd be crazy not to put him in these bigger movies.
And sure, and they definitely could, I guess. If you think about it, they've paid Robert Downey Jr. prior to this movie $50 million just to be in Homecoming, right? So there's that chance that they will continue paying Sony that money just to keep using Spider-Man.
But then you've got the easy wins, right? Scarlet Witch, right?
Yep.
She's obviously got to be in there.
She ain't got nothing else to do.
Scott Lang, I just think he's happy to be a part of the group.
I think so. And it's also a great move for Paul Rudd, I think, to be a part of these movies. Sure, he's got other things going on, but to be a big ticket item in an A-listing film that isn't a comedy, because when he jumps in those comedy roles, he becomes part of the packs, the Brat Pack and the Frat Pack, and then all that kind of stuff. And once they fall down, the actors fall down with them. And if he can continue on the MCU, then
that's going to keep his, paychecks coming in.
But I actually think he's cemented his place in the team now with Endgame.
Sure.
Like, he's actually served a purpose.
Sure.
He actually helped them come up with the plan.
Sure.
To win. So it's kind of like, yeah, I feel like he's going forward now. Before, with those films and even with Civil War, he was the butt of all the jokes.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like a serious player now.
Yeah, he's proved his wit and his might in Avengers Endgame, especially turning into Giant Man and kicking some serious ass.
And of course, there's also the Wasp. You can't have Ant-Man without the Wasp.
No, you can't. I mean, she's been really cool. I actually enjoyed her a lot more in Ant-Man and the Wasp, the film prior to Endgame, and that was a really awesome opportunity for how do you say her name?
Evangeline Lilly.
Yeah, Evangeline Lilly, to really show her character off, and she did, and really seeing her also in Endgame made me want to see more of her character and where she's going to go. So I would like to see her show up in the next phase, and it gives Ant-Man and her a big chance to be a really big part of this new series.
Big part as in can she go giant?
No, not in comic book lore. Not
okay.
I mean, I think she might have once or twice, but it's not a known thing. I know someone's going to say something about what I just said about the Wasp. I know someone's going to like, well, let me tell you, the Wasp is all this. I've read a few Wasp and Ant-Man comics, but they're not big on my list of comic books.
So you could be wrong about that.
I'm probably wrong about that. There's probably some things I've missed, but
so giant wool man.
Yeah,
could be a thing.
It could be. Yeah. I could be wrong. I think it may have happened once or twice, but I don't think it's been a big thing. Yeah.
And you mentioned Valkyrie as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, Valkyrie, she's looking after the new Asgard, right? So, as Guardians of Galaxy, that's what he says.
Yeah.
Just to throw back to the previous joke that I made 5 minutes ago in this video. The Guardians of Thor.
The Guardians of Thor. The Guardians of Thor.
I understood that reference.
Yeah. But yeah, so Valkyrie is she's on Asgard. I don't think she's going to become the new Thor or anything like that. Personally, I don't see it happening, but she could. Do you think Black Panther is going to be part of the new Marvel Avengers?
That's the thing, because they haven't actually hinted that at all. And does he want to be?
Yeah, well,
do you think he would want to be?
I think so. Why not? I mean, sure, he's been a part of the Avengers films moving forward with Civil War, right? So he was not the Civil War's Avengers film, but you know what I mean. And he's moving forward. He's been a big player in those movies, so I think there's that chance that he will become a part of it. And you just said previously that he's the new fan favorite, right?
I actually think outside of Spider-Man, I think those two for me, they're the ones that Marvel would be stupid not to put them in these all-encompassing the movies that cross over with multiple characters. Spider-Man and Black Panther, I think, should always kind of be in there.
So, I mean, what about War Machine, right? So he's still there, he's still alive. Do you reckon he's going to be a part of it, or do you reckon he just...
Well, Don Cheadle's getting a bit older now. Will he be interested in doing the role? I don't know, maybe he's going to be kind of a part-time Avenger.
Yeah.
And then gradually, I think, transition into maybe someone that looks after the tech from at home.
Yeah.
You can kind of, talk to the team from afar and all this kind of stuff. Because I actually think in the heat of the battle, I find it hard to understand where his role ends and Falcon's begins.
Yeah.
Because I find them very similar in the things that they're capable of doing in the sky.
Yeah, sure.
During combat.
I don't think... The thing for me, for War Machine really has never had a big moment where he's kind of had his moment in the sun. I mean, he's always been shadowed by Iron Man, and every time you see Iron Man screen, you want to see Iron Man, and then all of a sudden War Machine pops up,
and his suit's never as cool. Is he going to get the nanotech stuff now that
maybe
that Tony
cool?
had?
Yeah. I really dug the War Machine suit right at the end of Endgame, where it came out and it was big, it was bulky, and had the red parts throughout it. That looked dope as hell. If that became a figure, I'd be all in it. But so what could happen with Hulk?
So I love this new iteration of the Hulk. I think it's just so interesting. I mean, I think the Hulk storyline had run its course.
Yep.
And I didn't love the to and fro between the character in Infinity War, Bruce Banner and the Hulk, but I loved seeing it in Endgame, and I think there's heaps of ways this can go now. But he doesn't necessarily. The thing is, he would be happier in a lab doing stuff for the Avengers rather than out in the field of combat. But he has to be.
Yeah.
Because he's like this outside of. I'd say he's probably like one of the most powerful in the whole group.
Yeah, well, I think it's hard because I think the second the Russos stepped into this, they've really nerfed Hulk. I mean, like he used to in the first Avengers movie, and even prior to that, he was the strongest, superhero. He was stronger than what we thought was Thor at this point. We saw him kick Thor's ass technically in the start of Avengers, and then punched him in the face to the ground at the end of it. And then once the Russos took over the the directing seat, he was really nerfed down. So he just wasn't as strong. Couldn't beat Thanos. Started getting scared from that point on, and then in the latest Endgame, we really didn't even see him fight. I mean, you saw him change into. I mean, you saw him as Smart Hulk, I guess, and then he walked down to New York and tried to punch things, and it was kind of like just didn't care. It's like, oh fucking, I'm still Bruce Banner at this point.
I think it's crazy that he's kind of survived through all this and hasn't ended up, because if you think of where he was at the end of Ultron, he was in a dark place. Yeah, he went off, was planets and galaxies away, and then now he's back on Earth. He's lost the love of his life. So he's gonna have to find his place in this like new world that's there. I mean, he's also his science bro is now gone as well.
Oh, Tony Stark.
So
it's like, what are you talking about?
So he's got to try and. I think there's a place for him. But I think at least a couple more movies with Ruffalo, I'd say.
Yeah, I think I would just like to see a bit more development for the Hulk character, and not so much like Smart Hulk is cool, but like I think there's an opportunity for Bruce Banner to actually
a bit more of the brawn.
Yeah, and I want to see Hulk really freaking smash some shit. You know what I mean? Like he's a super strong dude and an awesome character in the Avengers, but we really haven't seen him do much. And I think there's that chance and that opportunity to really do it. I mean, we still haven't got that Planet Hulk storyline. I'm sure we got a little bit of it in Thor Ragnarok, but like there's that awesome opportunity to be able to really expand on his story, and we just haven't got there. But I really like that to happen in the next phase of whatever it's going to be called. So there you have it. That's who we think are going to be in the next Avengers, the next phase, whatever it's going to be called. But we want to know if we missed anybody, if you guys can think of someone that could be a part of the Avengers or the next big MCU movies. If you do, let us know in the comments down below, and we'll start chatting. We'll have a big talk about it. We'll become friends. But it'd be better friends if you maybe hit that subscribe button.
Cover your ears, Tony.
I've got nothing. But seriously, hit that subscribe button. Give the video a like if you dug what we're talking about. And until next time, I'm Ryan.
I'm Ben.
And we'll see you nerds at the movies.